Hi, Speculus here, and I'm trying to stay in amongst the trees because I forgot my microphone, so I'm hoping it doesn't get too windy here. Anyway, so I just thinking the other day about a lady that I ran into many years ago when I was out buying dog food, and because at the time I remember I ended up wearing my riding clothing to the dog food store, and so she recognized me as a rider, and so she was asking me questions because she had a horse of her own, and she wanted to know. She said, this is a really interesting thing with my horse. When I ask him to canter on the left lead, perfect. He does it exactly as I ask, no questions, just goes right ahead, perfect canter to the left. But when I ask him to canter to the right, then I have trouble. So I'm in my head, I'm thinking to myself, okay, I wonder what that could be. And I'm kind of going through all the things in my mind. But before I got a chance to say anything to her, she goes, I know he's just doing it to bug me. And I'm just wondering how I can, stop him from being such a jerk about it. And I remember thinking, wow, that was unexpected. That's not what I was thinking was going to happen at all. But interestingly enough, even though that was like a very bizarre, I think, perspective on horses, I've heard that in varying degrees a lot of times over the years. So what I mean is that, like, I'll have people who will say things like, well, that school horse I'm riding, he's so difficult, because he won't turn when I ask him to, or he always quits at the jump, or he always just, it's just the horse is just so difficult. And to that, I would just say, maybe that's not the way to look at it, Like, perhaps, like that lady, like, the first thing I would have thought if I had a horse that wouldn't canter on the right lead, I would have been thinking, like, maybe he's sore, maybe the saddle's not fitting correctly, maybe I'm sitting crooked. Like, there's a whole lot of things we should ask ourselves before we immediately pin it on the horse. And in terms of the, when we talk about a school horse who maybe is being difficult, or any horse that you ride, if someone else can get, this is a litmus test for me, if someone else can get on the horse and the horse behaves perfectly, this should be cause for us to reflect and go, perhaps it's something about me. So if you think about from a horse's perspective, we don't speak their language, so we're always trying to explain what we want to horses. And one of the easiest ways to explain what we want to horses is telling the horse when he gets the right answer. Like, the horse has no way to know he's doing the right thing unless we tell him. So you'll see people, that they're asking a horse, to stop, so they start applying pressure to the reins. The horse starts to slow down, and they just keep applying the pressure, applying the pressure, applying the pressure. Or perhaps, a horse that they're asking the horse to go forward, they squeeze with their leg, the horse starts to go forward, they keep squeezing or kicking or doing whatever. The horse can only in his mind think, that must have been the wrong answer. The question you just asked was, when I do this with my leg, you should do this. I just got the wrong answer, because obviously you're still using your leg, or you're still using your hands, or you're still using whatever aid or cue you're still using. The horse is now thinking, wrong answer. Okay, I got to think of something else. I think 90% of horses' disobedience is always because they're conflicted. I do not believe, unlike that lady at the dog food store, that horses lie awake at night thinking, how can I irritate my owner tomorrow? Horses are so generous and so kind that they're always trying to please, in my extent. Even the cheeky ones will do it right if they're asked correctly. Some horses have, I would say, less tolerance for being asked incorrectly, but generally speaking, if a horse is asked correctly, he will do what he's capable of doing for you. Anyway, it's just a thought on understanding horses and trying to learn to speak their language. And it's just something I was thinking about today because I was at a dog food store. Anyway, take care, have a great week, and remember to thank your horse. I hope this wasn't too windy today.